The second memorial of the Lekki shooting on Thursday follows the pattern of the first held a year ago. A walk and drive-through at the Lekki Toll Plaza. It is 2 years after, with so many events passing by, but the events of the night are still very fresh in the memories of these demonstrators, and their chant is, "What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice! What do we want? Justice! Justice!" That message is loudly re-echoed when members of the crowd briefly stop at the point of the shooting, with some of them lying down on the symbolic wooden coffins that make up some of their tools for the day. Part of their demands also include a full implementation of the recommendations of the Lagos State Panel of Inquiry and Restitution for victims of SARS-related abuse and other matters, which also looked into the October 20, 2020 shootings.
When a crime has been committed, somebody has to pay for it. That is what justice means. No one has been brought to book. They are still denying up until today. Such a shabby attempt to erase the legacy of some of the bravest people that we have ever seen in this country. Yes, it's the chant of justice, and to let people know that we will never forget. We can never forget. The fallen heroes must know that they did not die in vain, that people are still out here remembering all that happened, and will continue to demand justice. The governor himself set up a judicial panel. The panel came out with the findings, and the government made some recommendations. Until now, you have not met those recommendations. Recommendations such as giving justice to every victim, compensating the family. There's also one that says this place must be named a Lekki Memorial Plaza as against the toll gate. So what we are simply saying is the government should show us that they are indeed for the people. We are not fighting the government. It's not a war. We are simply saying we want better. We deserve better.
Everything concerning the procession appears okay, with the security operatives who are out in large numbers mounting a guard. But then, some of them cannot keep their itchy fingers off their weapons as tear gas canisters start to fly in the direction of the crowd. And water cannons too deployed, not only at the protesters, but also journalists. Members of their Rise News crew, including myself, aren't spared. Some of the overzealous police personnel directly fire the canisters and deploy the water cannon on us. With our crew driver physically hit with a gun butt, they threaten more brutality if we fail to leave the scene. But we stand our ground to continue with our duty and go on to talk to Madam Olabisi Abidin, whose son was among those killed on the night of October 20. She is visiting the scene again for the first time after personally picking the corpse of her son Olamilekan from here the morning after the shooting.
Firstborn meaning.
My first child was among those killed on the night of October 20, 2020. I was called in the early hours of the following day. And when we got here, we found him lifeless somewhere before we took his corpse away for burial.
She got some compensation earlier this year from the state authorities, she confirms to us, but that definitely can't replace Olamilekan's life.
I got some monetary compensation from the authorities in the state earlier this year, though I wanted to reject it, but I was unable to, because no amount of compensation can replace my darling son.
With teary eyes, she expresses hope that what our dear son paid the ultimate price fighting for will not be in vain. It is for the sake of our son and other fallen as well as injured comrades that the protesters have vowed not to stop making their demands despite the constant forceful dispersal by security operatives. Tokumbo Oyetunji, Arise News, Lagos.